Hey everyone, welcome to Keller Acres. Today I'm making some caramel pecan clusters. I recently made some peanut caramel clusters. They were amazing. So now we're doing a very similar thing with pecans. So what we're gonna need for this recipe is 2 cups of chopped pecans, and you can toast these if you'd like. We did toast these. You also don't have to, but it gives them a little more flavor. They smell amazing. You're also going to need 1 bag of caramel bits, or if you don't mind unwrapping a bunch of caramels, you can buy the squares and unwrap a bunch of caramels, but this is much easier. And 2 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. Also, you'll need a 1.5 cups of chocolate to dip these in at the end. You can use whatever kind of chocolate you want, semi-sweet, dark chocolate, whatever, but we'll need about 1.5 cups of that for melting, but we'll get to that in a minute. We're gonna start with this first. We're gonna be putting our caramel bits and our heavy whipping cream in a microwave safe dish. This is a nice, fast and easy recipe too. Candy doesn't have to take a long time. I love anything that's fast and easy, and this is that, and tastes amazing. So, got those 2 things in here. I'm gonna go put this in the microwave. It's gonna take about 1.5 to 2 minutes to melt. I will let you know exactly how long I melt this for. Okay, I've got my caramel all melted here. This just took a little over a minute. I thought it would take at least 1.5 minutes, but it went a little faster than I thought it would. So just make sure you're stirring every 30 seconds so that you don't overheat it. You're also going to need a baking pan ready. Got mine ready right here. I do not have mine lined with parchment or wax paper because when I did my caramel peanut clusters, I lined it, and then when I put them in the freezer to harden and I went to take them out to dip them in the chocolate, they stuck to the paper. So it's much easier just to put them on the pan with nothing and then just take your little spatula and loosen them that way. So that works great. All right, so now we are gonna mix our 2 cups of toasted pecans or non-toasted into our caramel. This is gonna be nice and thick, which is good. Once we get this all mixed up, we're gonna be scooping it out onto our baking pan. Then we're gonna stick it in the freezer for just a few minutes while we melt our chocolate, and it'll harden pretty fast. So it'll just take a few minutes in there to harden up a little bit, and then we will be pouring the chocolate over the tops. Also, when I melt my chocolate, I like to add 1 tablespoon of avocado oil shortening per cup of chocolate chips that I'm using. That just helps it be a little bit smoother, melt smoother, and it hardens nice and fast after you either dip or pour it over the top. You can also use coconut oil or regular shortening. I love the avocado oil shortening. That's my favorite. So I will be showing that to you here in a minute. Delicious, all nice and mixed. I'm gonna start scooping this onto our pan. Okay, we're all set to stick this in the freezer, and then I'm gonna go get melting my chocolate. Okay, I have melted my chocolate. I used 1.5 cups of Ghiradelli Dark Chocolate chips, and I added 1.5 tablespoons of my avocado oil shortening. Again, you can use coconut oil or regular shortening if you don't have this, but I do recommend adding something when you're melting your chocolate. My chocolate took 1.5 minutes. I've got it in this container that can kind of pour, and what I'm gonna do is just pour it over my clusters. These were just in the freezer for the amount of time it took for me to melt the chocolate. So they don't have to be in there very long at all. We're gonna be sticking them back in there to harden the chocolate. So let's get pouring some chocolate on. Got a little spatula in here too, just in case I need to spread any. All right, now I'm gonna go stick this in the freezer to let these harden up. Okay, our pecan caramel clusters have hardened. Had them in the freezer for, probably about 30 minutes. Then I just loosened them with my little spatula. They are delicious. So good. Give these caramel pecan clusters a try. You will not be disappointed. Thanks for watching. If you're enjoying our videos, be sure to hit the subscribe button and give us a like.